The ceremony is about to commence. We kindly ask that your mobile phone be switched off or on silent mode until the end of our ceremony. In case of an emergency, please remain calm and follow the instructions of the venue ushers who will ensure your safety. We now welcome our Real World graduates.
Hi, I'm Anne Sherry. I'm the Chancellor of QUT. I'm delighted to welcome you to your graduation ceremony and warmly congratulate you on being here today. As well as being a milestone for you, this occasion is a very important one for the university. To recognise that, this ceremony is modelled on the traditions of medieval European universities that date back 1,000 years. So we have a mace to symbolise authority, a Latin anthem, and academic dress styled in the traditions of that earlier time. More significantly at QUT, we celebrate the much older culture of the traditional owners of the land on which QUT stands, the Turrbal and Yagara people, whose customs and ceremonies date back more than 40,000 years. We pay our respects to their elders, laws, customs, and creation spirits. We have sought to deepen and expand the way in which you, as future decision makers, respect and value the precious contributions of those who've lived in this place for countless generations. As you have all discovered, QUT is a place where you've learnt new ways of thinking and doing. It's a place where you've been challenged to leave your comfort zone, to be bold and learn the practical skills you need to take the next steps in your career. And so I congratulate all of you on showing great commitment, courage, and achievement in qualifying to graduate today. Not only have you achieved academically, for many of you, coming to university may have required you to leave home, travel to a new country, or even persuade your inner voice or sceptical families that going to university would be worth the sacrifices. Just last year, more than 10,000 students graduated from QUT, joining the almost 300,000 professionals who are part of our global alumni network, of which I'm also a proud member. We look forward to welcoming many more students to QUT and supporting them while they study with us, as we have with you. We also look forward to supporting them in their chosen careers, whether in business, law, science, engineering, art, teaching, nursing, or many of the other pathways open to our graduates. I strongly encourage you to stay connected to QUT through our alumni network and to take advantage of the many networking and professional development opportunities it has to offer. For this is only the beginning of your journey. As you walk across the stage today, think about how far you've come. I know your friends and family are proud of you for the hard work you've put into completing your degree, and so are we. Once more, I extend my sincere congratulations, and we wish you every success for the future.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Margaret Shield, Vice-Chancellor of QUT. Today we celebrate the excellence of your achievements, the commitment you brought to your learning, and the dedication and perseverance you showed through every challenge. You chose our university because you wanted the real-world skills that industry demands. Today, surrounded by proud family and friends, either in the room or supporting you from afar, you stand before us as qualified professionals and emerging leaders ready to make meaningful contributions in your chosen fields. You have mastered complex disciplines while managing work, family, and personal responsibilities. You learn from and alongside researchers addressing our most pressing global challenges: climate science, healthcare innovation, and transformative technologies. And you achieved your qualification on lands that have served as places of teaching and learning for thousands of years, joining an unbroken tradition of scholarship and discovery. QUT is an ambitious, world-class university ranked amongst the top 200 globally. Our cutting-edge research in technology and innovation distinguishes us, but our true distinction lies in real-world graduates like you. Each project and placement has prepared you to enter your careers with confidence, and you now join a distinguished network of alumni, leaders in industry, innovators in research, and champions of positive change. As you embark upon your next chapter and go on to achieve remarkable things, remember you will also be judged by the care and compassion you show for others and the way in which you use your knowledge in the service for a greater purpose. On behalf of the entire QUT community, I sincerely congratulate you on your graduation and wish you all the best for what lies ahead.
Guests and graduates, please stand for the entrance of the academic procession.
Please be seated. Good morning, everybody. I'm Professor Troy Farrell, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's graduation ceremony. In commencing today's proceedings, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we gather this morning with a welcome to country video.
Balka be Balka. Welcome in the language of the Yagara people. We acknowledge the Turrbal and Yagara peoples as the First Nation owners of the lands of where QUT now stands. For thousands of years, the Turrbal and Yagara people have gathered along the banks of Maiwa, the Brisbane River, to share their knowledge and stories. We pay our respects to their elders, laws, customs, and creation spirits. We recognise that these lands where QUT now stands have always been places of teaching, researching, and learning. We acknowledge the important role Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people play within our QUT community. From Moreton Bay, inland as far as the Great Dividing Range near Warwick and Toowoomba, as far north as the Caboolture River, including the lands around Brisbane City, Meanjin. Yura yura yinala, balka bi balka, nganguru maramakoro nganya birali, nganya bayam. Welcome to the traditional country of the Turrbal and Yagara people.
Graduation is an important part of the fabric of university life, and in today's ceremony we will confer more than 270 degrees. In addition to today's formal proceedings, it's also an opportunity for us to celebrate and reflect on the personal achievements of all of our graduands and to very warmly and genuinely join into their celebration. We would particularly like to welcome those who are live streaming from around the world. I believe our graduands would be the first to admit that while graduation celebrates their individual success, their accomplishments would not be possible without their strong support networks throughout their studies. As such, today's celebration also recognises the significant contributions of families, friends, university staff, and many other people throughout the wider community. We have a large ceremony today and we'll have a short musical interlude during the proceedings. Presiding over today's ceremony is Professor Lisa Bradley, and it's now my pleasure to invite them to certify the awards and certificates.
On behalf of the University, the Chancellor, Ms Anne Sherry AO, Vice-Chancellor, Professor Margaret Shiel AO, I add to you all my very warm welcome. I also acknowledge our ceremonial host, Professor Troy Farrell, Professor Helen Wallace, Head of School, Biology and Environmental Science, Faculty of Science, Professor Tony Roberts, Head of School, School of Mathematical Sciences, Professor Emeritus Award recipient, Emeritus Professor Helen McGillivray, AM, members of QUT Council, QUT staff and family and friends. Most importantly, I welcome you, our graduands, whose achievements we celebrate today. I also add my acknowledgement of the traditional owners of the Turrbal and Yagara people. I now call on Professor Troy Farrell to certify the eligibility of graduands to be awarded their qualifications.
Presiding Officer, I have the honour to inform you that graduands who will be presented to you or who are nominated for awards in absentia are entitled to be admitted to degrees and have awards conferred upon them. I certify to you and to the University they have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for their awards.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University Council, I will admit to degrees and confer awards upon those qualified graduands in attendance today. I also admit to degrees and confer awards upon those qualified graduands who are listed in the graduations webpage and have been unable to attend in person at this ceremony.
Presiding Officer, I now have pleasure calling on Ms Marie Clancy to present today's graduands.
Presiding Officer, I have much pleasure in presenting to you graduates in the Faculty of Science to be admitted degrees. For the Bachelor of Data Science, Xavier Borman. Nilisi Jason Dara. Rena Tran. Caitlin Wink. For the Bachelor of Data Science with distinction, Matthew Allen. Gayatri, daughter of Arumugam. Isaac Atachinson. Sean Isaac Francis. Madison Henley. Amina Kosi. Nasha Xiu Yan Lu. Colin Tan. Dylan Tan. Bahavia Takran. Ngoc Lin Zhang Tran. Harry Wright. For the Bachelor of Science, Lachlan Bishop. Georgia Burnett. Chelsea Clark. Jake Douglas. Thomas Fletcher. Will Harrigan. Nelson Mackay. Carly Morden. Ethan Morrison. Juniper Riley. Benjamin Schmidt. Honor Senturk. Harriet Small. Nathaniel Stacey. Elliot Belcher. Miha Bruman. Elijah Clark. Thomas Fenton. Lachlan Gordon. Anna Ocean. Raymond Waskule. Taylor Clark. Blake Mullen. Aidan North. Marco Ong. Sarah Pobji. Christy Stoke. Mackenzie Taylor. Zara Vaz. Joanne Barreto Silva. Holly Condon. Michael Doyle. Caleb Harrison. Jasmine Kelly. Mia Lespina. Hewan Morton. Angelina Smythe. Azalyn Sobello. Nina Whittingham. Carmen Martinez Harris. Christopher Park. Erin Robinson Panay. For the Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Jordan Barnard. Abby Hill. Paige Martin. Madeline Milton Sheehan. Sabrina Ng. Ryan Thirlwall. William Button. Tyler Clark. Luke Burgess. Abby O'Toole. Larissa Picton. Anna Prodger. Amber Bruce. Ashlyn Grant. Samantha Johnson. Belinda Kerr. Caitlin King. Drew Miller. Michael Piercy. Isabella Piccone. Melanie Rawlinson. Lila Sampson. Evangeline Scott. Hannah Thwaites. Jeremy Tucker. Jara Wakaira. Austin Younger. Thomas Salot. Craig Bonington. Michaela Cameron. Rick Kavanagh. Stephanie Clark. Kelsey Hargraves. Jodie Jury. Samantha McIver. Melissa McKenzie. Nicholas Rhodes. Noah Sawyer. Harrison Taylor. Declan Thomas. For the Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Data Science, Cecilia Dang. For the Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Bachelor of Data Science, Fatima Aldaziz Adam Dada. Shreya Arora. For the Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Bachelor of Data Science with Distinction, Grace Sharrock. Rachel Tan. For the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business, Theodore Day. Kate Buckley. Megan Candy. For the Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Jonathan Brain. For the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Games in Interactive Environments, Lachlan Sharman. For the Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Bachelor of Information Technology with Distinction, Justin Chappell. For the Bachelor of Science with Distinction, Bachelor of Mathematics with Distinction, Finn Boreham-Smith. Madison Stibbe. For the Bachelor of Science Advanced Honours, Aidan Senol. Sophie Cotterill. Charlotte Woods. For the Bachelor of Science Advanced Honours, First Class Honours, Nicholas Preston. For the Bachelor of Science Honours, First Class Honours, Tyler George. Sarah Cathy. Danae O'Byrne-Crocker. Presiding Officer, we will now have a brief musical interlude performed by Parasido Strings. This will be followed by further presentation of awards. Presiding Officer, I have much pleasure in presenting to you graduates for the Graduate Certificate of Business Analysis, Muhammad Abdullah Chaudhry. Michael James. Michael Santry. Jose Bija Velasquez. For the Graduate Certificate in Business Process Management, Alina Kovalaska. Alicia Roberts. For the Graduate Certificate in Data Analytics, Hilton Brown. Nicola Cheen. Duan Khan. For the Master of Applied Science, Oliver Canvan. Bridget Dudley. Rachel Man Ki Lau. Aura Catalina Lopez Guzman. For the Master of Business Process Management, Kurt Benvidus Lurden. Callista Madonna Casassi. For the Master of Data Analytics, Samuel Bentley. Hoi Lam Chan. Hashala Dagapogu. Nathan Edwards. Nima Gamari. Kavya Henregada. Hu Dang Huang. Varun Jaiswal. Kiritpreet Kaur. Naveen Kumar Magesh Kumar. Atia Madoni. Noemi Mato. Alex O. Nika Marie Soto. Shichang Sang. Evaz Tariq. Vaishnavi Vakachala. Duke Nang Vu. Tri Kao Kan. Stefan Herhold. Vin Nguyen. Alana Plummer. Darcy Sutherland. Rachel Wilkin. Pei Cheng Wu. Atasuk Batsu. Quang Hui Tony Jiang. Stephanie Gonzalez. Amy Gujja. Turk Phone Jeffrey Lamb. Roger Ram. Ashwinth Raj. Maximilian Reinhardt. Ksenia Radano. Hassan Shaikh. Minjun Teng. Darren Teo. Sonia Thomas. Sam Varghese. Sethal Varghese. Hengfeng Xu. Anjali Krishna. Donghui Bray. Caitlin Garai. Camden Hillman. Nancy Jose. Catherine Jossen. Junhee Lee. Aidan Lockwood. Ryan McAndrew. Alicia Palikunal Jose. Manuela Posa Bina. Fahad Akil Thakur. For the Master of Philosophy, Christopher Clues. Vihara Kanungara. Joshua Ross Daly. Angus Hammond. Zudong Jiang. Savine Sainanayaka. For the Bachelor of Science, Jamie Hill. For the Graduate Certificate in Data Analytics, San Tin Tan. For the Master of Analytics, Anuj Vivekanand Bhosle. Nanishk Chandraprakash. Presiding Officer, I now call upon Professor Helen Wallace to present the candidates for doctoral degrees.
Presiding Officer, I have much pleasure in presenting to you candidates for the doctoral degrees from the Faculty of Science. The full citations of each of the doctoral degrees to be awarded today and the names of their supervisors are provided on the graduations webpage. Amongst the highest qualifications this university can bestow, the Doctor of Philosophy, or PhD, is awarded for the successful completion of a significant piece of independent research, sustained in its scholarly character, and one which makes an original contribution to the field. For the thesis titled Functional Polymer Backbones via Non-Traditional Chemistry, Redefining Step Growth Polymers, I present to you Anne Fernando Poole. For the thesis titled Portable Nuclear Magnetic Resonance, NMR, for Quantitative Measurement of Biological Tissues, I present to you Satya Funkajon Kiat. For the thesis title, Applying Best Practice Detection Strategies in Threatened Small Mammal Conservation, a case study using endangered antikinases, I present to you Stephanie Gomez Batista Paula. For the thesis title, Investigating Drivers of Speciation in the Fruit Fly genus Bractrocera dipterotephrididae, I present to you Mitchell Irvine. For the thesis title, Investigation of Charged Storage Mechanisms in Tin-Based Oxides for High-Performance Supercapacitor Electrode Development, I present to you Sagar Jadhav. For the thesis title, Mapping Oxidation States and Structural Dynamics in Co-Oxide Thin Films, incorporated with gold when used as oxygen evolution reaction catalysts, I present to you Rusha Kamar. For the thesis title, Recovering Materials from Batteries for Electrocatalytic Applications, I present to you Ashdeep Kaur. For the thesis title, Modelling and Measuring Particle Size-Dependent Thermo-Optical Effects in Silver and Gold Colloids, I present to you Callum MacArthur. For the thesis title, An Inverse Photoemission Spectrometer Using Both UV and Low Energy Detection Ranges, I present to you Gabriele Motta. For the thesis title, Assessing Plant Diversity and Invasion Patterns, the Role of Herbivory and Tree Understory Dynamics in Threatened Grassy Eucalypt Woodlands, I present to you Corinne Schlerenzauer. For the thesis title, They Protectin, They Attackin, but most importantly, They Tripsin, Toxin Discovery in Sea Anemones, I present to you Hayden Smith. For the thesis title, Computational Discovery and Design of Low-Dimensional Magnetic Materials, I present to you Chi Kian Kenya. Presiding Officer, that concludes the presentation of all graduates and awards.
Graduates, on behalf of the University Council and staff of the university, I offer you my congratulations. Whatever you do beyond today, remember this is a lifelong learning journey. Do it with purpose, with integrity and pride, and know that QUT will be there with you. In recognition of outstanding academic achievements and service, Council may choose to confer the title of Emeritus Professor on professors who are retiring from the university. It is now my honour and pleasure to ask Professor Helen McGillivray, AM, to come forward, on whom the QUT Council has conferred the title of Professor Emeritus, and I invite Professor Tony Roberts to read the citation.
Adjunct Professor Helen McGillivray, AM, is an internationally recognised leader in statistics education whose contributions span more than 5 decades. She served QUT with distinction from 1990 to 2011 as Professor of Mathematical Sciences and has continued to make sustained contributions to the field internationally through her adjunct role. Helen's extensive contributions to QUT include founding and directing the QUT Maths Access Centre, a pioneering initiative that transformed mathematics and statistics support for students within and across disciplines and mentored student tutors. This laid the foundation for the High Impact Student Success Group, which now supports students across the university. She has published widely, including 4 textbooks, 50 refereed chapters and papers, alongside more than 100 invited papers and presentations and other scholarly works. She has led the development of QUT statistics curricula and double degrees and is recognised as a Principal Fellow of the Higher Education Academy. Her significant broader contributions extend into high school education, where she has played an integral role in shaping our national mathematics and statistics curriculum. Helen's influence has extended globally through roles such as editor of the journal Teaching Statistics, President of the International Statistical Institute, the second woman in its 140-year history, and inaugural chair of the United Nations Global Network of Institutions for Statistical Training. She was the first female president of the Statistical Society of Australia and one of the first Australian senior teaching fellows. She continues to mentor early career academics and is a role model and advocate for women in science, technology, engineering and mathematics. In 2024, she was appointed a member of the Order of Australia for significant service to mathematics and statistics education in recognition of her sustained and substantial academic service. QUT Council has awarded Adjunct Professor Helen McGilvray AM the title of Professor Emeritus. Presiding Officer, I'm very pleased to present for award of the title of Professor Emeritus, and I join with the QUT community in congratulating you on this distinction and invite you to address us today, Emeritus Professor Helen McGilvray AM.
Good morning, Professor Bradley, Professor Farrell, Professor Roberts, distinguished guests, colleagues, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates. Graduation ceremonies are wonderful. Degrees take years, sometimes coffee-fueled, to earn, and then just a moment to walk across this stage to be presented. But the word momentous was invented for such occasions. May your celebrations today become lifelong memories for you, your family and friends. It is also a time for reflection and for looking ahead. Individual paths may differ, perhaps straight, perhaps a few zigzags, but the many memories of your journey, small and large, will accompany you on the paths to come, as will friendships you have made. Your paths may diverge, but those memories and friendships will always be a part of you. Your learning journey has been rich in discipline, knowledge and skills, but also in other skills and growing in yourselves. 30 years ago, while I was working in a team on new school curricula, the term generic skills was receiving emphasis, with the comment that these are the skills that you learn while you're learning something else. A bit like the line that John Lennon used in his song Beautiful Boy, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. These days, the embedding of these skills in curricula is much more visible, and we give them names such as critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, problem solving and adaptability. They're not soft skills, they're core skills, especially in my discipline, and the kind that help you thrive in STEM and in everything. But there's more. There's learning about yourself, how you learn, what you're good at, what not so much, how to build on achievements, how to pick yourself up after setbacks, and yes, how to forgive yourself. The realisation that there are some things that you have to do the things you want to do, and it's not just getting that pesky assignment in time. We learn about ourselves and others through observation, reflection, and analysis with authenticity and integrity. Skills at the heart of scientific thinking. All you have learnt will help no matter what paths you find yourselves on. I didn't set out to do statistics, nor any of the paths that you heard about. It just evolved. Statistics and statistical thinking are both challenging and wonderful to teach because of their importance and richness. I love the problem-solving aspect of teaching, as well as the variety of students, levels and areas, and making a real difference. The problem-solving was very like a statistical or a scientific investigation. I watched students, listened, collected data, analysed, reflected, dug deeper and brought things together, collaborated, implemented changes, evaluated them, interpreted results, and learned from them. Then repeated the entire cycle many times. Recently, I've also been asked to write and speak about leadership and why I've given so much to professional organisations and editorial work. I didn't volunteer for those, I was asked. And here's another thing I want you to remember. What you are asked to do can teach you a lot about what you're good at and also help you in deciding what matters for you. Many, many years ago, I was asked to be a Deputy Dean twice and also to do another term with the Australian Research Council. At the same time, I was asked to be the first female president of the Statistical Society of Australia and was also making real inroads and impacts in a wide, diversity of teaching contexts. I chose as best I could, but I could never have predicted what my choices would lead to, including being asked to be president of 2 international organisations and a chair of a United Nations committee, or that it would turn out to be good training for working with so many different people worldwide and addressing enormous international audiences. Everything you do, planned or unplanned, glamorous or unglamorous, contributes to you and your capabilities. Just to add, what I did internationally might sound glamorous. It was 2% glamour and 98% very hard work. So whatever your pathways from here, whatever twists and turns they may take, focus on doing well what is in front of you at any time. Each task, each accomplishment builds your skills and shapes your life. You have already shown what you can achieve. Each of you has the potential to make a difference, to have impact, and yes, to lead in your own way. Congratulations, graduates. You've worked hard, you've survived deadlines, and you've earned this day. Thank you to your families and friends for your support. And now, enjoy your celebrations. You've earned every second.
Thank you, Emeritus Professor Helen McGilvray, for a momentous and, as always, truly inspiring address. Family and friends, we've almost come to the end of our ceremony. However, I suspect that at least some of you would have been told by your graduate that you were not to cheer or to whistle and basically not to be too noisy as they cross the stage. Well, I think that now we should just ignore all of that and congratulate our graduates by making as much noise as possible to celebrate their graduation. Thank you all. Before I close, I'd like to thank all the wonderful staff who have arranged this graduation for us and assisted us here today. It's not an easy job, and we thank all of you for that. I now close by extending my personal congratulations and those of the university to all of our graduates, and our best wishes to their assembled family, friends, and supporters. Staff will assist graduates, family, and friends to leave safely, so please wait in your seats until you're guided accordingly. Graduates, family, and friends, would you all please stand as the academic procession now leaves the stage? Thank you. Now go out and celebrate.